Hey, welcome back, rankers. Hey, look at this. Apparently one of the NAB bankers is trying to call me. I can only assume it's about some sort of online reputation management issue that might be coming up. Anyway, enough of that. Quick review of last week. We went for the phrase Mirabella Q&A. Yeah, got some nice rankings there in video rankings and also on the front page of Google for that phrase. Interestingly, this one above the actual ABC's videos, you can see this one here is ABC Q&A, and these two here are above that. Now that's because this is from September 2011, and there is no mention of the hot topic of the time, which was, of course, Get Up, Simon Shake, doing the face plant on the desk, as we showed last week. Because you look here, we've got two signals that I'm seeing here. We're seeing that how fresh these videos are, and some might say, oh, well, the freshest video always wins. Well, it's not, because mine's the freshest and it's not winning. But the thing that's happening with these two videos is that we're both mentioning Get Up. Now, I haven't searched for Get Up in that search phrase, but Google knows that's a trending topic or a fresh topic that's been around those two phrases together, so therefore these videos are probably most likely to be the ones that people want to see. It's complicated, isn't it? Google's very sophisticated, which is why it always surprises me when people try to trick it. I was having a look at the buzzinsurance.com.au today and noticed that it had gone. It's not there anymore. In case you didn't know, they've closed the doors. Now, the Buzz Insurance was a brand of nrma.com.au, and they've said they're still going to, honour all the policies and everything else, so there's no problems there. But the brand itself has shut down, and I followed the site for a while now because we had different clients in the insurance market, and I always like to study the search engine results pages to see what people are doing. Anyway, I was interested to see that they closed down, but when I went and had a look at the index, I could see that there are about 2,300 results, but a lot of those were duplicates, as you can see from those titles there. A lot of them really didn't have, you can see a whole bunch there that are duplicates that really shouldn't be there. And, when you see this thing of like, oh, there's 2,300 results in the index, and I've got my page results set to 50 here, and I've only got 3 pages. So really, I've only got 150 pages, which means that Google, at some point, thinks that there's 2,300, but at the moment, it can only see X amount, and it's not the full 2,300. That should send some alarm bells for you. So I went and did a little bit more digging, and I thought, well, one of the interesting things, or the odd things that I'm seeing, that I saw when I first did this site, the buzzinsurance.com.au, and if you're going to have a look at the front page here, is that this second result, /forward. Okay, that's an interesting URL, the buzzer, and that's interesting, that stuff there. But look at this. It says it's a 404 error page. Now, here's the thing. Google shouldn't be indexing 404 error pages. So what does that tell you? That tells me that's not a real 404. That's what we call a soft 404, which is one of the things that Google's trying to stamp out. And this is, if you can try this at home, right? Just type your site name in and then just go / and then just put anything after the result. Now, you might get a page that looks a bit like, and we'll go to this one, and I might say, oh, look, it's a 404 error. That doesn't mean it's actually a 404. That's what the page says it is. But what browsers and Google and bots and everything look for is for the server to give a response. So when you did a little bit more digging, and I went to Aaron Wall's header checker this week I'm using, and I've put in here just this gobbledygook URL at thebuzzinsurance.com.au, and I get this, 302 found. So what that site is telling me, or that server is telling me right then and there, is that, oh yeah, that page is existing. Yeah, that's a real page. But we're going to temporarily redirect you to this page that we're calling 404. Now that sends a big problem to Google because Google's going to start indexing all that page, which is why we saw that page in the index. And it's going to see that there's actually hundreds of those pages in the index. Now, and you might think, oh, well, how many errors could there be? Well, for instance, that one that we just saw is /4. Now, presumably that's not linked from anywhere. Presumably that's not in a navigation menu on the site. But maybe people are just thinking, oh, I just want to see what sort of insurance it's got for forward. They're just typing it in and Google's picking it up. So don't do it. Now, digging a little bit deeper, we had a look at this here. I saw, hang on a second. It's powered by Sitecall CMS. Now, I know this is a very popular CMS, but I've seen this happening with a couple of Sitecall sites recently where they're creating a lot of soft 404s. And so I went hunting for their policy on 404s. And I can see here in one of their documents, Sitecall CMS 6 handling HTTP 404. It says here, the web server responsible for 404 page, blah, blah, blah. That's not the bit we want. Web Solutions can handle the 404 condition and use the 404 page for a variety of purposes. Stop. Stop right there. That's bad. There is only one purpose you should use the 404 error response code for, and that is to deliver a 404 response code to whoever's requested the thing that isn't there. All right? But what they're saying here, such as to redirect or render search results, which are quite happy, instead of returning the HTTP 404 status code. Well, look, you can do some of these things. You can render search results, or you could redirect, but the first thing that you have to do is tell whoever's requesting the page that it's a 404. Then you can do those other things. Does that make sense? Let me know if it doesn't. So if you're using Sitecall, if you are a Sitecall developer, or if you are from Sitecall, can you please make sure that if people want to rank in the search engines, that they first of all deliver that 404 before they go and do any of these nice and cuddly happy things. Okay? So the other thing that we went and had a look at with the Buzz Insurance was their backlinks. And lo and behold, they had like 78,000 backlinks across 2,500 domains from sites like this. That's relevant, isn't it? Anyway, I think this site here is a little bit like some of the ones we've done in the past. Like whoever Chameleon Web Design Services is in the UK, they've obviously said, hey, we'll SEO your page or something like that. There's some deal that's gone on in exchange for having a page all about finance. And basically, we will, put backlinks to our clients on that page, like they have here with thebuzzinsurance.com.au. So this is the sort of thing Google's trying to stop, right? So all I'm saying is, NRMA, who was the owner of the Buzz Insurance, maybe if you had fixed up a bunch of these things first, and also fixed up, this soft 404 redirect thing, which says you've got way too many pages, or creates way too many pages, you wouldn't have had to go and buy backlinks from some pommy amateur theatrical society, which is hardly relevant. I had a question from a client the other day, a potential client. I've decided not to take him on board. He said, "Okay, what's your backlink creation strategy? Where are we going to get backlinks from? Where are we buying backlinks? How much am I spending on backlinks?" So we don't do it. It's not something we do. And if you go and have a read of anything that Matt Cutts has said recently, great article in Stone Temple Consulting today. He says, and this is an interview by Eric Enge, and he says, backlinks should be more about PR. That's what it's about. It's not about having a backlink strategy to go and get a totally irrelevant backlink from a theatre company to a car insurance company, which makes no sense at all. Okay? So what does the NRMA do now with this domain? Well, we can see here that it is expiring on the 18th of December 2012. If you want to pick it up for a song, probably could. But if I was the NRMA, I'd hang on to it, and this is what I'd do. I would map every URL that Google still knows about and permanently redirect it to a URL within the NRMA, an equivalent page that makes sense to the user. Make sense? So then that does a couple of things. That gets the value of links like this, questionable, but there are also a lot of good backlinks against the Buzz Insurance domain. I mean, there's some good .com.au domains. And see, one of the things that's happening here is NRMA is still linking to the Buzz Insurance, and then the Buzz Insurance is linking back to NRMA, but there's nothing on it. So you've got to clean up that linking structure and then redirect all those other clients back to whatever product. So you've got different sites here. So it makes sense, to maybe look at redirecting Western Australian users to a relevant sgio.com.au, those sorts of things. But don't lose all that good link love you've got out there. There's some crap link love as well, acknowledged, but you don't have to redirect those pages. And I'm not convinced those pages will necessarily be harming you since Penguin, unless you saw a massive drop after Penguin and Panda earlier this year. If you did, anyone at NRMA, the Buzz Insurance, we'd love to know, love to hear about it. Not because we're ghouls, but because we like to learn. And if you do those things, NRMA sites are going to get the old love that the Buzz Insurance got, and then your clients as well will understand what's going on. Hopefully that's helpful. If you're using Sitecore, if anybody's using Sitecore out there, let me know if this is standard practice. I've seen it on 2 or 3 sites recently, and it's not necessarily a problem with Sitecore. It's just the way that it's been implemented. There's I guess a little bit of an ignorance there about the way that Google treats these 404. So I can understand why you would do those sorts of things from the user's perspective. Not great for a search engine though. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.